and I have been blessed with the opportunity of visiting all 5 of the water systems that we have installed in Honduras. I'd like to share with you some information about Living Waters for the World and Westminster's involvement in that mission work in Honduras. Here in Chester County, we all take for granted the safety of the water that comes out of our faucets. I can tell you from being in Honduras, you can't do that pretty much anywhere. But if you knew that the water was contaminated and could make you sick and your family sick, what would you do? Over 600 million people in the world face this dilemma every day. In fact, water-related illness is the leading cause of death among children. Almost 2 million children die each year from preventable water-related diseases. 30 years ago, those staggering facts motivated a small group of Presbyterians to begin a project called Living Waters for the World. They designed a simple water purification system for a community, one that could be easily maintained, easily installed. They took contaminated water, ran it through their system, and turned it into clean water. Then they trained volunteers to establish the system in a few small villages in developing countries. Since that time, over 1,000 systems have been installed in over 26 countries. My first trip to Honduras involved a week-long trip to install such a water system in a very remote and impoverished community. Pastor Don Lincoln accompanied us on this trip. It was the end of July and sweltering hot. To reach the community, we had to travel on miles of long, rough, winding, mountainous dirt roads more appropriate for horses and cattle than vehicles. The community was located deep in a valley surrounded by high mountains and an hour away from the next closest community. There was no internet, cell, or telephone service to connect them to the outside world. This community was isolated and seemingly alone. After the first day of working on the installation, and as all of us on the Westminster team were trying to get cleaned up and rest a bit, Pastor Don Lincoln called us together and asked each of us, where had we seen God that day? Panic immediately set in. I was not ready for a pop quiz. This mission was supposed to just be about gluing PVC pipes together, or so I thought. And in that sweltering environment, in such a remote and impoverished community as Santiago de Posta, how was it even possible to have seen God? However, as that week progressed, it became clear that God was actually everywhere. God could be seen in the beauty of the surrounding terrain, the smiles of the children, and the hearts of the members of the community with whom we would quickly become close friends. And as we worked hand in hand with them, helping to install the water system, teaching them how to sustain that system, and training them how to teach the benefits and proper use of clean water, I realized we were not just gluing pipes together. We were getting to know Christ, and equally important, making Christ known through our partnership with that community. To date, Westminster has installed and supported water systems in 5 Honduran communities. We are currently considering a 6th, where we recently learned there is an urgent need for clean water. If you feel called to do so, I invite you to support and even consider participating in our continued efforts to provide clean water to communities in Honduras.